Welcome. If you are a fresh graduate in India, B.Com, B.Tech, any degree, and you are wondering what career to build, this video is made exactly for you. Today we are going to talk about one of the most stable, well-paying, and growing careers available to Indian graduates right now, a career in US taxation. We will cover everything: what the work is, how much you earn, which companies hire, how to grow, and the honest truth, both the good and the not so good. So stay with me till the end. First, who is this career for? This is for anyone who has completed graduation in India. B.Com, BBA, B.Tech, B.Sc, any stream, any background. You do not need to be a CA. You do not need prior experience. You do not even need to know US tax right now. Companies will train you from scratch. If you are willing to learn, work carefully, and grow steadily, this career is absolutely open for you. So what exactly is US tax? Every person and every business in America has to file a tax return with the IRS. That is the Internal Revenue Service, which is like India's income tax department. They report how much money they earned and how much tax they owe. This process of preparing and filing those returns, that is the work. And a large part of this work is done by teams sitting here in India. Now you might wonder, why does US tax work come to India? Simple. The US has a shortage of qualified tax professionals. There are millions of tax returns to file every year. And Indian graduates, especially from commerce and accounting backgrounds, are very good at this kind of detailed, careful work. So US accounting firms and software companies set up offshore teams in India, especially in Hyderabad and Bangalore, to handle this work at a lower cost, but with very high quality. Let us quickly compare India tax and US tax so you understand the difference. In India, the financial year runs from April to March. In the US, the tax year runs from January to December. In India, we have the Income Tax Department. In the US, they have the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. In India, most salaried people file Form 16-based returns. In the US, individuals file Form 1040, businesses file 1120, partnerships file 1065. The rules are different, the forms are different, but the concept is the same. You earn money, you report it, you pay tax. The IRS is the tax authority of the United States. Think of it like India's CBT, Central Board of Direct Taxes. The IRS makes the rules, collects the taxes, and processes all the returns. When you work in US taxation from India, you are essentially working with returns that will be submitted to the IRS. So accuracy and compliance are extremely important in this field. Now there are two main career paths in US taxation in India. The first is tax compliance, also called tax preparation. This is where you actually prepare and file US tax returns. You work with real client data, real numbers, real forms. The second path is tax software testing. This is where you test the software that people use to file their returns. Companies like TurboTax, Thomson Reuters, Wolters Kluwer, they need people to make sure their software calculates tax correctly. Both paths are excellent. Both pay well. Let us look at each one in detail. Let us understand the US tax process step by step. Step 1. The client gathers their documents. W-2 forms from employers, 1099 forms for freelance income, investment statements, mortgage interest forms, and so on. Step 2. These documents are sent to the tax preparation firm. Step 3. A tax preparer, that could be you sitting in India, reviews the documents and enters the data into tax software. Step 4. A reviewer checks the prepared return for accuracy. Step 5. The return is e-filed to the IRS. This entire chain, that is the compliance process. Now you might wonder, can Americans not file their own taxes? Yes, many do. Simple returns they file themselves using software like TurboTax. But business owners, investors, people with multiple income sources, their returns are very complex. They need professionals to prepare it correctly. That is where accounting firms come in. And those firms often have offshore teams in India doing the preparation work. This is called the offshore model, and it is why lots of jobs exist in India for US tax. Tax season in the US is the busiest time of the year for this industry. Individual returns are due on April 15th. So from January to April, that is approximately 4 months. The entire industry is working at full speed. This period is called tax season. During this time, you may work extra hours, weekends, and handle higher volumes. But outside of tax season, May through December, the pace is much more relaxed. This seasonal nature is something you should know before joining. Why do companies specifically hire freshers for this work? Because US tax has a learning curve, and companies prefer to train people their own way. A fresher with no bad habits is easier to train than someone with wrong practices. Also, the work itself at entry level is repetitive data entry and form preparation, which freshers can learn quickly. Within 3 to 6 months of joining, most freshers become fully productive. And within 2 years, many are already at senior or reviewer level. The growth speed in this field is genuinely fast. Here is a quick preview of how your career can grow in US taxation. Year 1. You join as a tax preparer or associate, learning the basics. Year 2 to 3. You become a senior preparer or reviewer, handling complex returns. Year 3 to 4. You get your EA certification and your salary jumps significantly. Year 5 and above, you move to manager, then senior manager, then director level. Some people reach 15 to 20 lakhs per annum within 5 to 7 years of starting. This is a genuine growth ladder, not just talk. Let us quickly recap what we have covered so far. US tax is a large, stable industry. Indian graduates are hired extensively for this work. There are 2 main paths: compliance preparation and software testing. The work is offshore. You sit in India and serve US clients. Tax season is January to April, busy but manageable. Freshers are actively hired and trained, and the growth potential is very real and very fast. Now let us go deeper into each career path. The first major career path is tax compliance. This is the core of the US tax industry in India. The entry-level role here is called a tax preparer or associate. Your job is to take client documents, W-2, 1099, bank statements. Enter the data into tax software, Go System, UltraTax, ProConnect, Lacert, and prepare the tax return accurately. You are not making decisions. You are following the client's data and the tax rules to prepare the return correctly. This is the foundation of the entire career. As you grow in the compliance track, here are the key roles you will pass through. First, tax associate or preparer. Entry level, 0 to 2 years experience. Second, senior tax preparer. You handle more complex returns, 2 to 3 years. Third, tax reviewer. You review the work prepared by juniors, 3 to 4 years. Fourth, tax filer. You do the final quality check and e-file the return, 3 to 5 years. Fifth, team lead or senior associate. You manage a small team, 4 to 6 years. Sixth, manager. You own a client portfolio and lead a full team, 6 to 8 years. Seventh, senior manager or director. You handle large accounts, 8+ years. What does a typical day look like for a tax preparer in India? You come in or log in from home and check your work queue. You are assigned a certain number of returns to prepare for the day. You open the client's documents, maybe a W-2, a 1099 DIV, a mortgage interest form. You open the tax software and start entering the data. You check calculations, look for deductions, handle any issues. You submit the return for review. Then you pick up the next return. This is the daily rhythm, structured, repetitive in a good way, and very learnable. What skills do you need to succeed in tax compliance? Number 1, attention to detail. Missing one number can change the entire return. Number 2, basic Excel skills. Most data work involves spreadsheets. Number 3, English reading and comprehension. All documents are in English. Number 4, patience and consistency. This is not glamorous work, it is careful work. Number 5, willingness to learn tax concepts. The more you know, the faster you grow. You do not need CA, CPA, or any special certification to start. A bachelor's degree and the willingness to learn is enough. Now let us talk about the second career path, Tax software testing. This is less known but equally important and very well paying. Companies like Thomson Reuters, Intuit, Wolters Kluwer, H&R Block. They make the software that millions of Americans use to file their taxes. Before every tax season, this software must be tested extensively. Tax laws change every year. New forms come in. Old rules are updated. The software must calculate every scenario correctly. That is where QA testers come in, and many of them are based in India. What does a tax software tester do exactly? Your job is to test the software against real tax scenarios. For example, if a person earned $80,000 with certain deductions, does the software calculate the correct tax owed? Does the state return match the federal return? Are all IRS forms populated correctly? You create test cases, run them through the software, and report bugs. You are essentially a bridge between tax knowledge and software quality. The testing career has a unique cycle that is different from compliance. The busy period for testers is actually September to December, because software needs to be ready before tax season starts in January. So while compliance teams are relaxed in September, testing teams are at their busiest. This makes the two paths almost perfectly complementary. And understanding both paths gives you more flexibility in your career choices. Let us look at the growth ladder in the testing track. Entry level, QA associate or test analyst. You learn the basics of testing and tax. Mid-level, senior QA analyst. You design test cases and lead small testing efforts. Senior level, QA lead or test lead. You own entire modules of testing. Management level, QA manager or test manager. You lead a team and coordinate with product teams. Senior management, director of QA or VP engineering. Full ownership of quality. The testing path leads naturally into product management, business analysis, and even software development. Now let us compare compliance and testing side by side, so you can decide which path fits you. Compliance is better if you enjoy working with numbers, documents, and tax rules directly. Testing is better if you enjoy software, technology, and finding problems in systems. Compliance salary starts around 15,000 to 20,000 rupees per month at small firms. Testing salary starts around 25,000 to 35,000 rupees per month at tech companies. Both paths have strong growth potential with EA or CPA certification. Both lead to management roles within 5 to 7 years. Neither requires a technical degree to start. Both welcome any graduate. Now let us talk about qualifications. The most common question is, do I need a CA degree to work in US taxation? The answer is no. A regular bachelor's degree is enough to start. B.Com graduates have a natural advantage because of the accounting background. But B.Tech, B.Sc, BBA, all are welcome. Many companies run their own internal training programs that teach you everything you need to know about US tax from scratch. Your attitude, willingness to learn, and attention to detail matter more than your degree. B.Com graduates have a specific advantage in this field. You already understand concepts like debit and credit, financial statements, and taxation basics. The jump from Indian tax concepts to US tax concepts is not as large as it seems. Many of the fundamentals are the same: income, deductions, tax liability, refunds. The forms are different, the rates are different, the rules have different names. But the underlying logic is familiar to any commerce graduate. This gives B.Com students a faster ramp-up time compared to other streams. The most important certification in US taxation is the EA, Enrolled Agent. EA stands for Enrolled Agent. It is a certification granted by the IRS, the U.S. Internal Revenue Service. An enrolled agent is authorized to represent taxpayers before the IRS in all 50 states. Getting an EA certification is the single biggest career move you can make in this field. It signals to employers that you are serious, knowledgeable, and committed. And it comes with a significant salary increase, often doubling your income. The EA exam is called the C Special Enrollment Examination. It has 3 parts. Part 1 covers individual taxation, Form 1040, and related topics. Part 2 covers business taxation, corporations, partnerships, S-Corp. Part 3 covers representation, practice, and procedures, how to deal with the IRS. You can take the parts in any order, and you have 2 years to complete all 3. Each part costs approximately $200, around 16,000 to 17,000 rupees. The exam is taken at parametric test centers, which are available in major Indian cities. How does EA compare to CPA? CPA stands for Certified Public Accountant, the gold standard in U.S. accounting. EA is specifically for taxation. It is narrower, but very deep. CPA covers audit, financial reporting, management accounting, and tax. EA is purely tax-focused, but it gives you IRS representation rights. EA is easier to get than CPA, fewer exams, lower cost, no experience requirement to sit. CPA requires accounting work experience and is significantly harder. For a career purely in U.S. taxation in India, EA is the right first step. CPA can come later if you want to expand into broader accounting roles. Now let us talk about companies. First, the Big Four and major preparation firms. EY, Deloitte, PwC, and KPMG all have large offshore tax teams in India. RSM, BDO, Grant Thornton, and Crowe are mid-tier firms that also hire significantly. Fraser and Dieter and Eisner-Amper are well-known U.S. firms with India operations. These companies typically pay better and offer stronger training programs. Getting into a Big Four firm as a fresher is competitive, but very much possible, with the right preparation and a strong interview. For freshers specifically, there are several companies in Hyderabad that actively hire and train people from scratch. Advantage One Tax Consulting in Kandapur is known for hiring freshers regularly. US Taxo, Shri Tax Filers in Tarnaka, QX Accounting, KMK, and Associates. These are all firms where freshers get real exposure and training. Capactix, FinSmart, VGM Global, Madras Accountancy, and Unison Globus are other names that have active hiring programs for entry-level candidates. Starting at a smaller firm gives you more hands-on experience faster. Now for the software testing side. These are the key companies. Thomson Reuters has offices in both Hyderabad and Bangalore. Large teams, strong reputation. Intuit, the company behind TurboTax, has its India operations exclusively in Bangalore. Wolters Kluwer is another major player with India presence. H&R Block has teams in Hyderabad. ADP, Vertex, and Avalara. Avalara is in Bangalore, are payroll and tax tech companies. Bloomberg Tax and Instead in Hyderabad are growing names in tax technology. SAP also has tax software modules and India-based teams. Getting into any of these companies is a strong career foundation. Now let us talk about the most important topic, salary. Let me be completely honest with you here. No exaggeration, no false promises. At small and mid-sized firms, a fresher starts at 15,000 to 20,000 rupees per month. That is approximately 2 to 2.5 lakhs per annum. At Big Four firms, EY, Deloitte, PwC, KPMG, freshers typically start at 30,000 to 42,000 rupees per month. That is 4 to 6 lakhs per annum. These are real numbers, not inflated, not from 2019. Current market numbers. As you gain experience, and especially after getting your EA certification, your salary grows substantially. With 2 to 4 years of experience and EA certification, you can expect 65,000 to 1 lakh rupees per month. That is 8 to 12 lakhs per annum. At manager level, which typically comes with 6 to 8 years experience and sometimes CPA, you can earn 1.2 to 1.7 lakhs per month. That is 15 to 20 lakhs per annum. This is not a quick rich scheme. It is a genuine 5 to 7 year career build. But the trajectory is very real and very achievable. One important thing to understand about U.S. tax returns. There are different types of returns, and specializing in one type is smart. Form 1040 is the individual tax return, the most common type. Form 1120 is the corporate tax return for C corporations. Form 1120s is for S corporations, small businesses. Form 1065 is for partnerships. And each state has its own separate state tax return as well. Most freshers start with 1040 preparation, individual returns. As you grow, you can specialize in business returns, which are more complex and better paid. One of the biggest advantages of US taxation as a career is remote work. A very large percentage of US tax jobs in India allow work from home, either fully remote or hybrid. Because the work is computer-based, software, documents, emails, there is no physical reason to be in an office. Many professionals in this field work entirely from home, serving US clients, earning strong salaries, without commuting to an office at all. This is a genuine lifestyle benefit that very few other careers offer at this salary level. Now let us talk honestly about shifts. US taxation work in India typically runs in two shift options. The day shift aligns with Indian morning hours, roughly 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. IST. This is possible because some US firms work with the time difference and handle communication asynchronously. The evening or night shift aligns with US Eastern Time, roughly 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. IST. The night shift pays a shift allowance, typically 10 to 20% extra. Many people prefer the day shift for work-life balance. The night shift suits people who are single, young, or prefer higher take-home pay. Both options exist, and you can usually choose or negotiate based on the company. Here is a concept that makes US taxation very attractive for Indian professionals. The dollar-rupee advantage. Your salary is benchmarked to the Indian market in rupees, but the value of the work you are doing is benchmarked to the US market in dollars. This means the firm is making significant margin on your work. And because of this, firms can afford to pay you well and still be profitable. Your cost of living is in India, rupees, but your career value and salary growth is linked to the US industry, dollars. This economic dynamic is one of the core reasons why this career is so stable. The EA exam process in detail. You register on the Prometric website, prometric.com/IRS. You create an account and schedule your exam at a nearby center. You pay approximately $200 per part, roughly 16,000 to 17,000 rupees. The exam is computer-based, multiple-choice questions. Each part has 100 questions and a 3.5-hour time limit. A passing score is 105 out of 130, about 72%. Study materials are freely available. The IRS publishes all the rules and forms online. Paid courses from Gleam, Surgent, and Fast Forward Academy are also available if you want structured preparation. EA versus CPA, which should you pursue? If your goal is to build a career in US taxation in India, EA is the clear first choice. It is specifically for tax. It is achievable within 1 to 2 years of working. It does not require work experience to sit for the exam. It immediately signals to employers that you are a serious tax professional. CPA is broader. It covers audit, financial statements, and management accounting. It is harder, more expensive, and requires supervised work experience. For someone just starting in US taxation in India, EA first, and CPA later if you want to work in the US directly or in audit roles. Now let us talk about how to actually get your first job in US taxation. So you have done some learning, you feel ready. What do you do next? Step 1. Make a simple, clean resume. 1 page. No photos. List your degree, subjects, and any Excel or computer skills. Step 2. Go to Naukri.com, LinkedIn, and Indeed. Search for terms like US Tax Fresher, Tax Associate, US Tax Preparer, Tax Trainee, and offshore tax jobs. On LinkedIn, follow EY India, Deloitte India, Thomson Reuters India, Intuit India. Many jobs are posted directly on these pages. Step 3. Apply in the right window. October to January is the golden period for hiring. Firms do bulk fresher hiring in November and December to build their teams before busy season starts in January. Step 4. Look for fresher batches and trainee programs. Many companies run structured trainee programs specifically for fresh graduates. These are excellent because they include full training. Step 5. Watch for campus drives and walk-in interviews. Many Hyderabad-based firms do walk-in drives in October and November. Check Naukri and LinkedIn for walk-in announcements. Apply widely. Do not wait for the perfect company. Get your first experience, and the rest will follow. Now let us talk about your resume and interview tips for US taxation fresher roles. First, your resume. Keep it very simple. One page is enough. Highlight your B.Com or accounting subjects. Mention topics like financial accounting, taxation, auditing. Mention your Excel skills. Even basic Excel shows you are comfortable with numbers. If you know what a W-2 or a 1099 or a Form 1040 is, write it. Even knowing the names tells the recruiter you have done your homework. Second, be honest in the interview. You are a fresher. Do not pretend to know things you do not know. Recruiters respect honesty far more than bluffing. Say clearly, I am a fresher, I am willing to learn, and I am committed to growing in this field. Third, show good English communication. You do not need perfect English, but you must be clear and confident when you speak. Fourth, ask smart questions in the interview. Ask about training programs, what software they use, what the first month looks like. This shows you are serious and thinking ahead. These small things make a very strong impression. Let us talk about what the interview for a US taxation fresher role actually tests. The interviewers are not expecting you to be an expert. They are evaluating you on a few simple things. First, basic tax concepts. They may ask, what is Form 1040? What is a W-2? What is the IRS? What is the difference between federal and state tax? You do not need deep answers. Just show you understand the basics. Second, your reason and interest. Why do you want to work in US taxation? Have a genuine answer ready. Talk about your interest in accounting, your long-term career goal, your willingness to get EA certified. Third, Excel comfort. They may ask, are you comfortable with Excel? Have you worked with spreadsheets? Say yes and give a simple example, even from college. Fourth, shifts and busy season. They will ask, are you okay with a night shift or extended hours during January to April tax season? Be honest. If you are okay, say yes confidently. Fifth, communication. They are watching how you speak. Clear, simple, confident English is what they want. Not perfect grammar, just clarity. Prepare these 5 areas, and you will walk into the interview with real confidence. Now let us talk about some common myths that freshers believe about US taxation. Many people think you must be a CA to work in this field. That is completely wrong. A simple graduation degree is enough to start. B.Com, B.Tech, B.Sc, BBA, any degree works. Another myth is that only commerce students can enter this field. Again, not true. Any graduate willing to learn is welcome. Third myth, you must clear EA before you can get a job. EA is a bonus, not a requirement. You can clear EA while working on the job. So please do not let these wrong beliefs hold you back. Start now, learn on the job, and add certifications as you grow. Now let us talk about some common mistakes that freshers make in this field. If you know these up front, you can avoid them easily. Mistake number 1, waiting for the perfect job before starting. Do not wait. Start with whatever opportunity comes. Experience is the real qualification. Mistake number 2, ignoring Excel. Excel is used every single day in US tax work. Sort, filter, VLOOKUP, basic formulas. Learn these before your interview. Mistake number 3, poor English communication. As you grow, you will need to write emails and coordinate with team members. Practice clear and simple English from day 1. Mistake number 4, fearing busy season. Yes, January to April is intense, but that is where you learn the most and grow the fastest. Embrace it. Mistake number 5, stopping learning after getting the job. Tax rules change every year. Keep learning continuously. Here is a very important tip about timing your job application. The biggest hiring in US taxation happens before the tax season starts. The US tax season runs from January to April, so companies start hiring and training freshers from October onwards. The best window to apply is October to January. If you apply in February or March, most positions are already filled. So plan your preparation accordingly. Finish your resume by September. Start applying in October. Attend interviews in November and December. Join by January, just in time for the busy season. This timing strategy alone will give you a much better chance of landing your first job. Let us do a quick recap of all the practical things we covered in this section. First, return types. Form 1040 for individuals, Form 1120 for corporations, Form 1065 for partnerships, and state returns. Start with 1040 and specialize as you grow. Second, work from home. Many U.S. tax jobs are remote or hybrid, a big advantage. Third, shifts. Day shift follows Indian morning hours. Night shift follows U.S. Eastern Time. Night shift pays extra allowance. Fourth, the EA exam. 3 parts, no degree required to sit, around $200 per part. A very strong add-on for your career. Fifth, how to apply. Naukri, LinkedIn, Indeed, plus walk-in drives. Apply before October for the best chances. Sixth, avoid common mistakes like waiting for the perfect job, ignoring Excel, and not preparing EA. These are the practical building blocks of your U.S. tax career. Now let us talk about the third and most senior role in the compliance track, the reviewer and filer. After the tax preparer builds the return, it goes to the reviewer. The reviewer reads the entire return very carefully. They check every number, every deduction, every credit. They make sure everything is correct and follows IRS rules. If there is any mistake, they send it back to the preparer to fix. Once the return is clean and accurate, the reviewer becomes the filer. They e-file the return, meaning they submit it electronically to the IRS. This is the final and most responsible step in the compliance process. Accuracy is the most critical skill here. As a fresher, you will start as a preparer and grow into the reviewer and filer role over time. When you search for U.S. tax jobs on Naukri, LinkedIn, or Indeed, you will see many different job titles. Do not get confused by them. They all mean similar kinds of work. Tax associate is the most common entry-level title for freshers. Tax preparer means you prepare and build the tax return. Tax analyst means you analyze and prepare returns with a bit more responsibility. Tax consultant means you advise and prepare returns for clients. Tax reviewer means you check the work done by preparers. This is a senior role. And at the top, you have tax manager or senior manager. So when you see these titles and job postings, understand they are all part of the same career ladder. Start from associate or preparer and work your way up. Let us do a full recap of Part 1, the foundation of U.S. taxation. U.S. tax is a large, stable, and growing industry. Indian graduates, any stream, are actively hired. The 2 main paths are compliance preparation and software testing. The offshore model means you work in India for U.S. clients. Tax season runs January to April. Testing season runs September to December. Companies train freshers from scratch. No prior tax knowledge required. The salary starts modest but grows significantly with experience and EA certification. The best hiring window is October to January every year. Now we move into the practical details of a U.S. taxation career. This section covers the real day-to-day things you need to know. What forms will you actually work with? What are the work timings, day shift or night shift? How much can you actually earn? How do you get into these jobs in the first place? These are the real questions a fresher asks, and we will answer every single one of them clearly and simply. So stay with me because this is the most practical and useful part of the entire video. Here is a very smart career strategy that many successful U.S. tax professionals follow. Do not try to learn everything at once. Instead, pick one return type and become very good at it. For example, choose Form 1040 individual returns. Focus on it. Learn every line. Understand every deduction and credit. Become the person on your team who handles the toughest 1040 returns. Deep expertise in one area makes you more valuable to your employer. It makes you harder to replace. And it increases your salary faster than being average in 5 different areas. You can always expand to other return types later, but start by going deep in one area first. Specialize, then grow. One of the most encouraging things about a U.S. taxation career is how your salary grows over time. It starts modest, that is true. At small firms, freshers start at around 15,000 to 20,000 rupees per month. But it does not stay there. As you gain experience, even 1 or 2 years, your salary goes up. Once you clear the EA exam, your salary can double or even triple. With EA certification and 3 to 4 years of experience, many professionals earn $65,000 to $1 lakh per month. At manager level with 6 to 8 years of experience, salaries reach 1.2 to 1.7 lakhs per month. What starts modest becomes a strong, well-paid career in just a few years. The key is to stay consistent, keep learning, and get your EA certification done. Now let us understand what testing roles look like when they sit next to compliance roles. In a tax software company, both types of work happen side by side. The compliance team prepares actual tax returns for clients. The testing team checks that the software being used is calculating correctly. They are doing different jobs, but they need the same core knowledge: US tax rules, forms, and IRS guidelines. For example, if the software is calculating a deduction wrongly, the tester must know what the correct calculation should be. So even testers need to understand tax. This is why moving between compliance and testing is possible if you build a strong foundation in US tax basics. Let us compare the busy seasons for compliance and testing. This is important because both tracks have a peak time, but they are different. For compliance teams, the people who prepare and file actual tax returns, the busiest period is January to April. That is when Americans file their individual and business returns. For testing teams, the people who check the tax software, the busiest period is autumn, meaning September to December. That is when they need to get the software tested and ready before tax season starts. So if you choose compliance, your intense months are January to April. If you choose testing, your intense months are October to December. Both paths have demanding stretches, but at different times of the year. One of the most common questions freshers ask is, should I choose compliance or testing? Let me help you decide. Choose compliance if you enjoy working with documents and real client data, if you like steady, structured routine work, and if you want the widest choice of job openings as a fresher. Compliance has far more companies hiring compared to testing. Choose testing if you enjoy using software and finding problems, if you like working with technology and logic, and if you are okay with fewer job openings, but in more specialized companies. Testing companies are fewer in number, but they are large, well-known firms. Both are excellent paths. Neither is better than the other. Just pick the one that matches how you like to work. Now let us understand how the two sides of this industry, compliance and testing, are connected. Large accounting firms use tax software made by software companies to prepare returns. So the preparation firms and the software firms are closely linked. A Big Four accounting firm might use GoSystem, UltraTax, or ProConnect to file returns. Those software products are made by tax technology companies. And those technology companies need testers to make sure the software works correctly. So the entire ecosystem works together. If you join a preparation company, you use the software. If you join a software company, you build and test the software. Two different careers, same industry, same knowledge base. This is why understanding both sides gives you more flexibility in your career choices. Now let me share with you a simple and practical study plan for freshers. If you are just starting out, this plan will help you prepare step by step. First habit, watch this 60-day course from beginning to end at your own pace. No rushing. Take notes. Understand each topic clearly. Second habit, practice preparing sample returns on your own. Watching alone is not enough. Doing is what builds real skill. Third habit, learn one form deeply first. Start with Form 1040. Get comfortable with individual returns before moving to business returns. Fourth habit, read IRS basics online to understand the why behind the rules. Fifth habit, keep track of current changes in US tax law every year. Tax rules change annually, so staying updated is part of the job. These 5 habits, done consistently, will make you job ready within 2 to 3 months. Let me answer one of the most frequently asked questions about this career. Will my salary grow? And how quickly? The answer is yes, it grows quite fast if you take the right steps. In year 1, you are learning and your salary is modest. But by year 2 and 3, As you handle more complex work, your salary goes up steadily. The biggest jump comes when you clear the EA exam. Many professionals see their salary double after getting EA certification. What started as a modest 15,000 or 20,000 rupees per month can grow to 65,000 or even 1 lakh per month within 3 to 4 years. And at manager level, after 6 to 8 years, people earn 1.2 to 1.7 lakhs per month. So yes, this is a career where your income grows substantially over time. The key ingredient is EA certification on top of your experience. I want to say something encouraging to every fresher watching this. Your US taxation career does not need to wait. It can start right after you finish your graduation. You do not need extra certifications to begin. You do not need years of experience. You do not need to be from a specific college or city. What you need is the knowledge from this video, a clean resume, and the confidence to apply. Companies are actively looking for fresh graduates who are willing to learn and grow. Take the first step today. Start learning the basics this week. Update your resume this weekend. Apply in October. 1 year from now, you could already be an experienced US tax professional earning a real salary. Your career starts the moment you decide to begin. Let us talk about skills that will help you shine in a US taxation job. You do not need all of these on day one. They grow with practice. But knowing them ahead of time helps you prepare better. First skill, Excel. Most tax work uses spreadsheets every single day. Learn sorting, filtering, VLOOKUP, and basic formulas. This is very important. Second skill, attention to detail. Numbers and forms must be exactly correct. One wrong number can create a serious problem on a tax return. Third skill, communication in English. Clear email writing and team coordination. Fourth skill, willingness to learn US tax rules every year. Rules change annually, and staying updated is part of the job. Fifth skill, patience and consistency. Tax work is detailed and requires focus. Build these skills, and you will stand out from other freshers very quickly. Now let us understand how your career grows in the compliance track over the years. This is called the compliance growth ladder. At the entry level, you start as a tax preparer or tax associate. You are learning the basics, working on simple returns. After 1 to 2 years, you become a senior preparer or senior associate. You handle more complex returns and work faster. After 3 to 4 years, you grow into an assignment manager or assistant manager role. You guide a small team and review their work. After 5 to 6 years, you become a manager. You own a client portfolio and lead a full team. And beyond that, senior manager, director, and higher. This ladder is clear, predictable, and achievable. Every step is open to you if you keep learning and growing consistently. Have you ever wondered what a tax preparer actually does on a typical working day? Let me walk you through it simply. In the morning, you pick up a client file with all their documents. Maybe a W-2 form showing salary, or a 1099 form showing freelance income. You open the tax software and start entering the information. You input income amounts, deductions, and any tax credits the client qualifies for. You cross-check every number against the original documents. If something does not match, you investigate and correct it. After completing the return, you add notes about your work and pass it to the reviewer. Then you pick up the next client file and repeat the process. That is the daily rhythm of a tax preparer. Structured, focused, detail-driven, and something any careful person can learn well. Let us talk about what skills help you shine in a compliance tax job. You do not need to be an expert on day one. These skills grow naturally with practice. Skill 1, Excel basics. Sorting data, simple formulas, keeping neat spreadsheets. Almost every task in tax work involves Excel in some way. Skill 2, attention to detail. Small numbers matter a lot in tax returns. Missing even one digit can cause a big problem. Skill 3, US tax basics. Know what a W-2 is, what a 1099 is, what a 1040 return is. These are the building blocks. Skill 4, good English and email writing. Clear communication with your team and reviewers is essential. Skill 5, curiosity to learn more. Tax rules change every year. The people who grow fastest are the ones who keep asking questions and learning new things. Build these skills consistently, and your career will grow very steadily. Let us talk about why testing is such an important role in the U.S. tax industry. The tax software must e-file returns correctly to the IRS. If there is even a small bug in the software, it could send a wrong return to the IRS. This can cause serious problems for the taxpayer. So before every tax season, the software is tested very thoroughly. Also, the U.S. government updates its tax rules every single year. New rules, new forms, new limits. Every time the rules change, the software must be updated and retested. And the software companies need to get fresh approval from the Department of Revenue every year. This is why testing is a permanent, ongoing job. It does not stop after 1 year. New rules every year means new testing every year. This is job security built right into the nature of the work. Now let us talk about testing companies. One important thing to understand is that testing companies are fewer in number. Unlike compliance, where hundreds of firms hire preparers, only companies that build their own tax software need testers. In India, there are roughly 10 such companies. These include some large, well-known names. So testing has fewer job openings compared to compliance. But each opening is in a specialized and well-paying company. If you get into a testing company, it is a very strong career start. The key point is, do not be discouraged by the smaller number of companies. Focus your effort, build the right skills, and apply to all the testing companies actively. Quality matters more than quantity when it comes to testing roles. Now let us build your complete roadmap, step by step. This is the practical plan for going from zero to a successful U.S. tax career. Step 1. Decide which path interests you more. Compliance preparation. If you like working with numbers, documents, tax rules. Software testing. If you like technology, software, finding bugs. Both are excellent, but you need to choose a direction to focus your preparation. Most people start with compliance because it has more entry-level openings, and the skills transfer to testing roles later if needed. Step 2. Do a basic course on US taxation. You do not need to pay for this. YouTube has excellent free content. Search for US Taxation Basics, Form 1040 Explained. What is the IRS, US Tax for Beginners? The IRS website itself, irs.gov, has free publications that explain every tax concept clearly. Spend 20 to 30 hours over 4 to 6 weeks going through this material. You do not need to become an expert. You just need enough to answer basic interview questions and show genuine interest. This 30 hours of study will separate you from 90% of other freshers. Step 3. Build your resume and LinkedIn profile. Your resume should be clean, one-page, honest. Your LinkedIn profile should have a professional photo. A headline like, Commerce Graduate U.S. Tax Aspirant EA Candidate, and a summary that mentions your interest in U.S. taxation and your educational background. Start connecting with U.S. tax professionals in India. Follow companies like EY India, Deloitte India, Thomson Reuters India, Intuit India. Comment thoughtfully on their posts. This builds visibility before you even apply. One of the best things about U.S. taxation is that both career paths, compliance and testing, have a clear growth ladder. You do not get stuck at one level forever. In compliance, you start as a tax associate or preparer and grow to senior, then reviewer, then manager. In testing, you start as a QA analyst and grow to senior QA, then QA lead, then QA manager. Both paths start at the entry level and climb all the way to management. Your degree opens the door to get in. Your daily learning, your certifications, and your consistent effort carry you up the ladder. Nobody is born at a senior level. Everyone starts small and grows step by step. The important thing is to start, stay consistent, and keep building your skills every year. Here is some very reassuring news for freshers. You do not need any expensive certification before you apply for U.S. taxation jobs. Many freshers worry that they need a CA degree or a CPA or some special course. The answer is no. A simple graduation degree is enough to get your first job. B.Com, B.Tech, B.Sc, BBA, or any other bachelor degree. Companies will give you all the training you need after you join. They have structured training programs where they teach you US tax from scratch. The only thing you need at the interview stage is basic knowledge, a willingness to learn, and good communication. So stop worrying about whether your degree is the right one. Focus on preparing for the interview and applying to companies. Your degree is enough to start this journey. Now let us understand the software testing cycle more clearly. After the testing is done and all bugs are fixed, the software needs to be completely ready by December. Why December? Because the US tax season starts in January. That is when taxpayers and preparation firms start using the software to file returns. So the testing teams work hard from September to December to make sure everything is perfect. In January, the software is officially released to all customers. So the cycle is test in autumn, fix all bugs, get everything ready by December, release in January. This December deadline is very important in the testing world. If you join a testing company, you will experience this intense but rewarding end-of-year cycle every year. If you are interested in the testing track, let me tell you what skills you actually need. These skills are different from the compliance track. First, logical thinking. You need to predict what the software should do, then test if it actually does that. Second, attention to detail. Spot tiny wrong numbers, wrong messages, or wrong calculations. Third, Java and XML basics. These help you understand how the software is built and how tax data is structured and passed between systems. They are not required on day one, but learning them early gives you a big advantage. Fourth, US tax basics. To know if the software result is correct, you must know what the correct answer should be. Fifth, patience. You will test the same flow many times in different ways. This requires focus and patience. Build these skills, and you are ready to apply for a QA or testing role in a tax software company. Now let us look at the list of preparation companies in India that you can apply to. These are companies that prepare US tax returns for clients. They are the biggest source of fresher jobs in this field. In India, there are more than 20 such companies. The Big Four are among them. They have large teams and strong training programs. Then there are mid-tier firms with offices in Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Mumbai. And there are many smaller boutique firms that specifically hire freshers and train them from scratch. Hyderabad has the highest concentration of these companies. Bangalore is also a major hub. Mumbai, Pune, and Gurgaon also have preparation firms. So wherever you are, there are likely opportunities nearby or remote ones you can apply to. Use Naukri, LinkedIn, and Indeed to find them and apply actively. Let us talk about where US taxation jobs are located in India. Most companies are based in the big metro cities. Hyderabad is one of the biggest hubs for US taxation in India. It has a very high concentration of both preparation companies and some testing companies. Bangalore is equally strong, especially for software testing roles. Mumbai, Gurgaon, and Pune also have many firms. Chennai has a growing presence too. Now, the great news is, with remote work becoming common, your physical location matters less and less. Even if you are in a smaller city like Vizag, Warangal, or Coimbatore, you can apply to firms based in Hyderabad or Bangalore and work remotely. So do not let your city limit your job search. Apply widely and take advantage of remote work opportunities. Paid courses, are they worth it? There are several paid courses available in India for US taxation. Courses from Koenig Solutions, Skills, and various Hyderabad-based training institutes range from 5,000 to 30,000 rupees. Honestly, for getting your first job, free resources are enough. The IRS website, YouTube, and practice with TurboTax will get you interview ready. However, if you want structured learning, practice problems, and a certificate to add to your resume, a paid course can be worth it. Look for courses that include practical preparation of mock returns, not just theory. Hands-on practice is what differentiates good candidates in interviews. The future of U.S. taxation as a career. Will AI and automation replace U.S. tax professionals? This is a fair question, and you deserve an honest answer. Simple returns, a salaried employee with one W-2 and standard deduction. Yes, software already handles these almost fully automatically. but complex returns, business owners, investors, multi-state filers, international situations. These require human judgment, knowledge, and accountability. And there are tens of millions of complex returns filed every year. AI can assist and automate parts of the process, but the oversight, judgment, and representation roles, those will remain human for the foreseeable future. Let me give you 6 strong reasons why US taxation is a genuinely smart career choice. Reason 1, year-round demand. Tax work does not stop after April. Businesses file quarterly, states have different deadlines, and amended returns come all year. The demand is continuous, not seasonal. Reason 2, clear growth ladder. From tax associate to senior to reviewer to manager to director, every step is well defined. You always know where you are going and what it takes to get there. Reason 3, good pay that rises fast. You may start modest, but with EA certification and 2 to 3 years of experience, your salary can double or even triple. The growth is genuine and fast. Reason 4, remote is possible. A large part of US taxation work in India is fully remote or hybrid. You can work from your home city and save on commute and city costs. This is a real benefit many careers cannot offer. Reason 5, dollar-linked value. The work you do is priced in the US market. Your skills have global market value even though your cost of living is in India. This economic advantage is built into the career. Reason 6, EA and CPA certifications open global doors. With an EA or CPA, you become eligible for opportunities not just in India, but also in the US, Canada, and other countries. Your career can go truly global. Let me answer the most common questions freshers ask about US taxation. Question 1. Do I need to be a CA to work in US taxation? Absolutely not. A CA degree is not required at all. A simple bachelor's degree, B.Com, BBA, B.Tech, B.Sc, any stream, is enough to get your first job. Companies train you from scratch. CA is not an entry requirement here. Question 2. Is heavy maths needed? Will I struggle with numbers? No, you do not need heavy mathematics at all. US tax work involves basic arithmetic, addition, subtraction, percentages. If you can operate a calculator and read a spreadsheet, you have all the maths you need. The software does the complex calculations. Your job is to enter the right data accurately. Question 3. I am a B.Tech graduate. Can I still join US taxation? Yes, absolutely. B.Tech graduates are very welcome in this field. In fact, B.Tech graduates often do very well in testing roles at companies like Thomson Reuters, Intuit, and Wolters Kluwer. Any graduate can join. Your stream does not matter as much as your attitude and willingness to learn. These 3 answers cover the most common doubts. Do not let these questions hold you back. You are eligible. Go and apply. Question 2. How long does it take to become financially comfortable in US taxation? Realistic timeline. Year 1, 15,000 to 30,000 rupees per month. Learning phase. Year 2 to 3, 30,000 to 50,000 rupees per month. Growing phase. Year 3 to 4 with EA, 65,000 to 1 lakh rupees per month. Established phase. Year 5 and above, 1 lakh to 1.7 lakhs per month. Senior phase. So by year 4 to 5, with EA certification and consistent effort, you can realistically be earning 10 to 15 lakhs per annum. That is a genuine, achievable, and stable financial position. Here is some very good news that many freshers do not realize. To start a US taxation career, you do not need any expensive certification first. You do not need a CA degree. You do not need a CPA. You do not need EA before joining. A simple graduation degree is enough. Companies hire freshers with just a bachelor's degree and train them completely. The EA certification is a powerful add-on, but you do it alongside the job, not before it. So if you have your degree in hand, you are already qualified to apply. Do not let the fear of not having extra qualifications stop you. Start now with your degree. Get the EA done while you are working. That is the right sequence. Now let us talk about what you should do after your 12th standard or intermediate. This is for those of you who are still in the early stages of your education journey. After 12th, the first step is simple: complete your graduation degree. Any bachelor's degree will work. B.Com is a great choice because it gives you a foundation in accounting and taxation. But B.Tech, B.Sc, BBA, or any other degree is also perfectly fine. And alongside your degree, if you want to get a head start, you can start learning about the EA or CPA certifications. You do not need to pass them before graduation. Just understanding what they are and starting preparation gives you a big advantage. Degree plus awareness of EA or CPA, that combination is a very strong foundation to enter the US taxation field right after your graduation. Let me motivate you for a moment. Many of the senior managers and directors in US taxation today started exactly where you are right now. Fresh graduates from regular colleges in Hyderabad, Vizag, Guntur, who took a chance on an industry they barely knew. Some of them earn more than 20 lakhs per annum today. Some manage teams of 30 to 50 people. Some have EA and CPA certifications and are considered domain experts. The path is proven. The success stories are real. What it requires is starting, staying consistent, and growing deliberately. You have everything you need to do exactly that. Where to learn more about US taxation? Resources I recommend: IRS website, irs.gov, the official source for all US tax rules and forms. Completely free. YouTube, search US Tax Preparer Training, Form 1040 Walkthrough, EA Exam Preparation. LinkedIn Learning has structured courses on US taxation. Some are free with a basic account. Coursera and edX have accounting and taxation courses from US universities. Gleam EA Review, the gold standard paid study material for the EA exam. Reddit, the subreddits are /tax and our /tax bros have active professional communities. These resources will give you everything from beginner basics to advanced professional knowledge. A complete recap. 8 key points to remember from this entire video. 1. US taxation is open to any Indian graduate. No CA required. 2. 2 paths, compliance and testing, both strong careers. 3. Salary starts modest but grows to 15 to 20 lakhs with experience and EA. 4. EA certification is your single biggest career accelerator. 5. Big Four and large firms pay better. Small firms give faster hands-on learning. 6. Remote work is common and real in this field. 7. The best hiring window is October to January every year. 8. Start your 60-day study plan. Build your resume. Apply in October. This is everything you need to get started. You can do this. I want to say this directly. If you are watching this video and wondering whether this career is for you, the answer is yes, it is. You do not need a perfect background. You do not need connections in the industry. You do not need to be exceptionally smart or exceptionally talented. What you need is consistent effort, attention to detail, and the courage to start. This industry has absorbed thousands of ordinary graduates and turned them into highly paid, respected tax professionals. You are equally capable of doing the same. Start today. Start small. Stay consistent. Grow deliberately. Your career in US taxation is waiting for you. Like and subscribe. If this video helped you understand the US taxation career better, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. I make detailed career guidance videos for Indian students and graduates, covering careers, certifications, salary truths, and practical roadmaps. If you have questions about US taxation, drop them in the comments. I read every comment and will answer your questions. Share this video with your friends who are figuring out their career. This information can genuinely change someone's direction. Thank you for watching the full video. I will see you in the next one. Now let us talk honestly about the pros and cons of this career. I believe in giving you the complete picture, not just the exciting parts, but also the challenges. Because a career decision made with full information is a decision you will never regret. So in this section, we cover the honest truth, the good, the difficult, and the realistic. By the end of this, you will know exactly what you are signing up for. Pros versus cons, a quick overview before we go deep. On the positive side, This career is always in demand. It offers fast growth. Remote work is genuinely common, and the salary trajectory is strong with EA certification. On the challenging side, tax season is intense. Night shifts can affect your lifestyle. The work can feel repetitive, especially at entry level, and the starting salary at small firms is modest. Let us go through each of these honestly. Pro number 1, always in demand. US taxation is not a trend. It is not dependent on a startup ecosystem or a bull market. As long as the United States exists and levies taxes, which will be for the foreseeable future, there will be a need for tax professionals. And because of the offshore model, India will continue to be the primary talent hub. This structural demand means your skills will not become obsolete. Your career will not disappear because of a market cycle. Stability is one of the most underrated career benefits, and US taxation delivers it consistently. Pro number 2, fast career growth. In many Indian industries, growth is slow, hierarchical, and political. In US taxation, growth is directly tied to skill and certification. If you get your EA within 2 years of starting, your salary and role change dramatically almost immediately. Companies actively look for certified professionals because they are rare. A 3-year EA holder is far more valuable than a 7-year non-certified professional. The certification shortcut to growth is real and widely recognized in this industry. You control your own growth speed here, which is rare and powerful. Pro number 3, remote work is real. Not theoretical, not future promise, actual, current, working from home reality. Many US tax professionals in India work fully remote or hybrid. The work is entirely digital, software, documents, emails, video calls. There is no physical product to manufacture, no client to meet in person. This means you can work from your home city, your hometown, anywhere with good internet. The financial benefit is significant. No commute, no rent in a metro, no urban lifestyle costs. Your salary goes further when you live where you choose to live. Con number 1, tax season is intense. Let us be very direct here. January to April, the 4 months of tax season, are genuinely demanding. Long hours, sometimes weekends, high volume, tight deadlines. The pressure is real. If you are someone who values work-life balance above everything else, tax season will test you. The firms expect full commitment during this period. The good news, once April 15th passes, the pace drops significantly, and the remaining 8 months are much more manageable. But you should go in knowing that tax season requires real effort. Con number 2, night shifts and work-life disruption. If you are on a night shift, and many roles require it, your sleep cycle, social life, and family time will be affected. You will be awake while everyone else sleeps. You will sleep while your family and friends are active. Social events, family dinners, weekends that everyone else has, you may miss some of these. This is not a small sacrifice, especially over years. Some people adapt well and even prefer the night schedule. Others find it deeply difficult over time. Be honest with yourself about which type you are before choosing a night shift role. Con number 3, repetitive and detail-heavy work. At entry level, U.S. tax preparation is repetitive. You will prepare the same types of returns, day after day, for months. The same forms, the same data entry patterns, the same checks. For some people, this is peaceful and comfortable, a predictable structure. For others, it becomes mind-numbing within a year. The saving grace is that complexity increases as you grow. After year 2, you are handling harder cases, reviewing junior work, and making judgment calls. But if you are someone who thrives on constant variety and creativity, be prepared for the first couple of years to feel routine. Con number 4, modest starting salary at small firms. Let us say it plainly. If you join a small or mid-sized U.S. tax firm in Hyderabad as a fresher, your starting salary will be 15,000 to 20,000 rupees per month. That is the reality. It is not a lot. For context, that is the same starting range as many BPO and back-office jobs. The difference is the trajectory. A BPO job at 15,000 might still be 20,000 to 25,000 5 years later. A US tax job at $15,000 with EA certification and consistency can be $80,000 to $1 lakh 5 years later. The starting point is the same. The destination is very different. The willingness to endure the starting phase is what separates the ones who make it. Who is this career best suited for? You are well suited for US taxation if you are patient and detail-oriented. You are comfortable with structured, process-driven work. You are willing to study and get certified over a 2 to 3 year period. You value stability, remote work, and long-term growth over immediate high salary. And you are genuinely okay with working odd hours if needed. If these describe you, this career will reward you very well. Who might find this career difficult? Be honest with yourself here. If you need constant variety and creative challenges, entry-level tax work will bore you. If you are not willing to study for the EA exam on top of work, your growth will plateau. If night shifts are a serious personal or family concern, some roles will be hard. If you want a very high starting salary immediately, small firm starting salaries will frustrate you. This does not mean you cannot succeed, but it means you need to go in with eyes open and a plan for how you will handle these specific challenges. The balanced verdict: is US taxation the right career for you? If you want a career that is stable and recession-proof, growing and globally relevant, remote work-friendly, clear in its certification and growth path, and realistically achievable from any graduation background, then yes, US taxation is a genuinely excellent career choice. The challenges are real: tax season intensity, night shifts, modest starts. But they are manageable with the right mindset and planning. And the rewards on the other side, financial stability, professional respect, global relevance, are absolutely worth the effort. Let us talk about the offshore model and understand why US tax work comes to India in such large volumes. US accounting firms face a simple problem. There are millions of tax returns to prepare every year, and the cost of hiring experienced tax professionals inside the United States is very high. So what did they do? They looked for an alternative. They found India. India has a large pool of English-speaking, educated graduates who are comfortable with numbers, detail-oriented, and willing to work in a structured process. Exactly what tax preparation needs. The time difference also helps enormously. India is approximately 10 to 11 hours ahead of US Eastern Time. So when the US office closes in the evening, the India team is already starting their morning shift. The India team works through the day, prepares the returns, and by the time the US office opens next morning, the work is ready for review. This is called the follow-the-sun model. Work never stops. Returns get done faster. Clients are happier. And because the cost of operating in India is significantly lower than in the US, firms can serve more clients at better margins. This is why the offshore model is so big in India and why it is not going away anytime soon. It is built into the economics of the entire US tax industry. Before we close, let us go through the 5 most important takeaways from this entire video. Takeaway 1. US taxation means helping prepare US tax returns from India. You are sitting in India, working with client documents, using tax software, and preparing returns that American taxpayers will file with the IRS. That is the core of this work. Takeaway 2. The process has 4 clear steps. Collect documents, prepare the return, review it carefully, and then e-file it to the IRS. Every fresher who joins learns this exact process from day 1. Takeaway 3. There are 2 main roles in this industry. Compliance, where you prepare and file actual tax returns. And testing, where you check that the tax software is calculating everything correctly. Both are strong career paths. Takeaway 4. Your degree is enough to start. You do not need a CA, CPA, or any special certification to get your first job. A bachelor's degree in any stream is sufficient. Companies will train you completely. Takeaway 5. EA and CPA certifications boost your profile and your pay significantly. EA especially is the single biggest career accelerator in this field. It can double your salary and fast-track your promotion to senior roles. These 5 points are the foundation of everything we discussed. Remember them, act on them, and your US taxation career will be a strong, and successful one. Let us continue with the U.S. tax process. Step 2. After the client sends their documents, a dedicated team collects and organizes everything. This is not a small task. The team gathers every single document, W-2 forms, 1099 forms, investment statements, mortgage forms, and more. They sort every document and label it neatly so nothing is missed. They make sure all the required documents are present. If anything is missing, they follow up with the client. Clean and organized files are very important, because if the documents are messy or incomplete, the preparer cannot do their job correctly in the next step. This organizational role, often called the CRO or Customer Responsive Officer, is a real entry-level job you can target. Now we come to step 3 of the U.S. tax process. The preparer builds the return. After the documents are collected and organized, they go to the tax preparer. This is the most common entry-level role for freshers. The preparer opens the tax software. It could be ProConnect, GoSystem, UltraTax, or similar. They enter the income details from the W-2 and 1099 forms. They add deductions, like home loan interest or student loan interest. They apply any tax credits the client is eligible for. The software calculates the tax automatically. The preparer checks everything carefully to make sure all the numbers are correct. Once it looks good, they mark the return as ready and pass it to the reviewer. As a fresher joining a U.S. tax firm, this is exactly the work you will be doing from day one. Step 4 of the U.S. tax process. The return moves to the reviewer and filer. After the preparer finishes building the return, it moves to a senior person, the reviewer. The reviewer does not just glance at it. They read the entire return carefully, line by line. They check every income entry, every deduction, and every calculation. They make sure the return follows all IRS rules correctly. 2 pairs of eyes reviewing the same return is very important. It catches mistakes that the preparer might have missed. This is what keeps the quality high and the clients happy. The reviewer role is a growth role. You reach it with experience. It is a sign that your employer trusts your judgment and your knowledge. Most people reach the reviewer level within 2 to 3 years of joining. The final step, step 5 of the U.S. tax process. After the reviewer has carefully checked the return and confirmed everything is correct, the last action is to e-file the return. E-file means the return is submitted electronically, online, directly to the IRS. The reviewer checks every number one final time for any errors. Once they are satisfied that the return is clean and accurate, they click Submit. The IRS receives the return electronically. The filing is complete, and that is the full process from start to finish. Collect documents, organize them, prepare the return, review it, and e-file it. This complete process, from the client's first document to the final submission, is the heart of U.S. taxation compliance work. And every fresher who joins this field learns this exact process from day one. Thank you for watching this complete career guide on U.S. taxation. My name is Pavan, and this channel is dedicated to helping Indian students and graduates build real, informed, and successful careers. If this video gave you clarity, please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends, your college WhatsApp groups, anyone who is figuring out their career. Good information shared at the right time can genuinely change someone's direction. I will see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward. Take care.